she went in for a minor throat surgery to treat acid reflux.
I had spoken to my mother the night before. Very normal conversation.
It was just typical, talk to you in the morning, good luck, no worry on your...
No, all she said was, ugh, I hate having to do this. Getting old sucks.
The next morning was August 28th. The phone rang early in Melissa Rivers' Los Angeles home.
My phone rang, it was about a little before 7. My mom's number, whatever the office number, comes up. And I'm thinking, God, this one has got to learn to add and subtract by 3, which she was never very good at. And I'm like, oh, and I answer the phone and it's her assistant. And she said, I don't know what, she's crying. And she said, I don't know what to tell you, your mother stopped breathing. I don't know what to tell you, we're on our way to the hospital.
Melissa and her son Cooper, who's now 14, were on the next flight to New York.
By the time you got to New York, what was the situation?
I had gotten emails on the plane that she was already in a medically induced coma, and they were dropping her body temperature, which I knew was bad because that is the protocol for catastrophic brain injury.
Remember when you walked in the hospital?
Mm-hmm.
What'd you see?
I just couldn't believe what I was seeing. It becomes very surreal. And there's my mom and machines and doctors, and I think at that point it started to dawn on me a little the craziness that was starting to ensue.
As Melissa tried to hold on to hope at her mother's bedside, details about the throat procedure began to emerge.
There were wild stories. What did you hear that bothered you the most?
I think the selfie.
Explain it for people who don't know the story.
There was a story circulating that during the procedure, the doctors were taking selfies of themselves with my mother while they were working on my mom.
Is it true?
Allegedly. They weren't taking selfies, they were taking pictures of each other. Working.
So it wasn't technically a selfie,
Correct.
But your mom was in the picture.
Allegedly.
Have you seen any of those pictures?
No.
Health department investigators spoke to medical staff at Yorkville Endoscopy, where Joan Rivers was being treated, and found that one of the doctors took photos of the late comedian while she was unconscious. The incident is one of many things Melissa says went wrong inside the clinic, and she's filed a lawsuit against Yorkville Endoscopy and the doctors who were responsible for her mother's care.
In my opinion, it was 100% preventable.
What could they have done right off the bat to prevent this?
How about paying attention to the vital signs? How about having a properly equipped crash cart?
So there's no part of you, Melissa, that says this may have been just a tragic accident and no one was to blame.
Yes, it was a tragic accident. If something happens and everyone does everything properly, things happen.
You live with it.
You live with it. When it's error after error after error after error after behaviors that you cannot even begin to get your head around, you get mad.
An anesthesiologist who has responded to Melissa Rivers' lawsuit denies any wrongdoing, and Yorkville Endoscopy says patient safety is their highest priority, adding that they use state-of-the-art monitoring devices and have emergency resuscitation equipment, including a fully equipped crash cart, immediately available during every procedure.
You write about the time when she's in the hospital and she passes away.
Yes.
Will you read it for me?
I slept on the cot next to my mother's bed that night with some of the lights still on and the TV blasting, just the way she liked it. In the morning, when it was time to remove the ventilator, she was surrounded by those who loved her most and whom she loved most. I lay in the bed and held her for a while, and after a few hours, she was finally gone. I didn't have to tell her I loved her. She knew. She didn't have to tell me she loved me. I knew.
Take a look at the rumors, conspiracy theories, and sometimes truths that lurk on social media and the internet. On this week's Debunked, did Joan Rivers get killed for calling Michelle Obama a transgendered person? And in fact, is Michelle Obama transgendered? Now, both of these accusations come from a recent rant by Alex Jones that start in an interesting place. See, there's a racist cartoon going around the internet that compares Michelle Obama and Melania Trump. And The drawing is a completely inaccurate representation of Michelle Obama as being far more muscular than she actually is, in fact. And in the cartoon, she looks like a traditionally represented man. Melania looks like a traditionally represented beauty queen, and it says, "Let's make first ladies great again." Now, obviously, this is a very racist cartoon, and it's incredibly tasteless. And Alex Jones was defending it, saying it was just funny. And then moving on to make the point that really everybody knows, apparently, that Michelle Obama is transgender. This is apparently another article of faith in the craziosphere online. And Joan Rivers actually made a joke shortly before her death about Michelle Obama being transgender. Joan Rivers joked that because of Michelle Obama's perfect makeup and physique, she obviously was transgender. Now, regardless of what you think of Joan Rivers' humor, it's this thing that's called humor. Alex Jones actually thought that Joan Rivers was apparently a brave truth teller about the real nature of Michelle Obama's identity.
True peace, everybody. So today I'm going to go in on an old celebrity cause of death scenario, and I'm going to go in on Joan Rivers. It was said that she passed from cerebral hypoxia, which is brain damage from the lack of oxygen, because of a surgery she was going in for her throat or something like that. So it was also said that she was purposely unalived, allegedly, for making claims against Michelle Obama and stating that Michelle Obama isn't, who she perceives to be to the public's eye, which is a woman. And around the time Joan Rivers was writing a book, or had written a book, talking about a same-sex wedding and things like that. So she had did a little interview. She had somebody interviewing her as she was walking in like a building or something like that. It was like paparazzi, and she was basically made claims that Michelle Obama is not the gender who she is, putting herself out there to be. So allegedly it was stated that that is the reason why her life was, taken. Okay? Just for a disclaimer, this is for educational purposes only, and you take what you can from the cards at your own risk. Okay? So let me finish shuffling the deck. Okay, so the first question is, did Joan Rivers die from cerebral hypoxia, which is brain damage from lack of oxygen? Okay, so the first card is the Good Spirit Neferkar card in reverse. Okay? It says, Agatho Demons cares about persons and things, helps people solve problems, ether forces, does not harm people or things, follows orders to do good, not a spirit god or goddess, electric gas, able to shock your nervous system, influence your emotions positively, protects, guard, and guide, and can appear in any form they will. So this card was in reverse. So this means that it says and it's upright, it says does not harm people or things. So in reverse, that would mean that she was harmed. And it also says follows orders to do good. That means that somebody was following an order to do something bad or something negative. Okay? It says protects, guard, and guide. And since this is in reverse, that means she didn't have any protection from this event taking place. So somebody had ill intentions to cause harm to her. Okay? This person, it says, cares about persons and things, and this card is in reverse. So this person did not care about her or what she had going on. Somebody had to follow an order to cause harm to her. Okay? The next card is the Pantheism card in reverse. Okay. Okay, it says, in reverse, you are in for a whipping power, something they don't like, or to carry the blame for something else as a scapegoat. And this backs up the previous card, that she was attacked for something that she said that nobody liked. Okay, so she's taken her death was used as a scapegoat for the truth in reference to Michelle Obama's case. I'll say that because she's carrying the blame, you know, because she told the truth. So that, you know, she got attacked for telling that truth. And the truth is that Michelle Obama should have, you know, just admitted those truths. If those truths were admitted, her life wouldn't have had to been taken. That's how she was used as a scapegoat. Okay? Then the next card is the Universe Kidney card. It says water powers, remove waste, balances your life, produces strength, foundation, and supports life filtering. So as we see here, it says to remove waste. So her telling the truth is what caused her life. Okay, and the truth is something that, you know, produces strength, foundation, and supports life. In this case, you know, that's what she did. She tried to tell the truth. She tried to put the truth out there for the people, you know, and innocently. But she was also looked at as a waste because of the things that she was saying. So she had to be removed. So did Joan Rivers matter of fact, I'm gonna rephrase that question. Is Michelle Obama the opposite gender as Joan Rivers made claims about? Is Michelle Obama the opposite gender than, you know, what she's putting out into the world to be? Okay. Okay, so the first card is the female Nunubu marriage card in reverse. It says the wives and mothers be role models for the girls and be homemakers as only females can. If there are no extra eligible females in a society, the males cannot have but one wife each. If it so happens in a true cultural society that the number of eligible men for marriage outnumbers the number of eligible women, the extra men may so find their wives in some other country of their own kind. And this also holds true for female persons who do not wish to be a wife among wives in the household. So this basically confirms that Joan Rivers' claims, were correct, because this card is in reverse. And it's about females. It says the wives and mothers be role models for the girls and be homemakers as only females can. And because this is in reverse and we're on the topic of, Michelle Obama making claims that she's a woman and this card is in reverse, it's telling you that she's not a woman. That's what it's saying. That means that Joan Rivers' claims were correct. Okay, so we're moving on to the next card. This is the next card. It says the mercy and forgiveness card in reverse. It says, listen to reason. The mercy, forgiveness, and scapegoat dogma of religion obstruct justice. Justice is hard and also heavy, and if it is tempered with mercy and forgiveness and scapegoatism, it is not justice any longer, but compromise for transgression instead. When justice becomes compromise, the compromise encourages further iniquities and transgressions, and we end up with a world like we have today at the time of this writing. And that is what I was just referencing when I was saying that Joan Rivers was used as a scapegoat. She was used as a sacrificial lamb in the case of dying, for telling the truth about somebody else's, deceit. So this is why we end up with a world like we have today, where telling the truth is frowned upon and many people have lost their lives telling the truth. So the next card is a 9 North Cataclysm in reverse. Okay, it says nobility, gases, cataclysm, windstorm, subterranean chemicals, a future card, Earth's menopause, start, perfection of positivity, perfection of honesty, null, novenary nature, true North Pole, noose power, vacuum power, 987, brain newts, nupu noon, North Pole noon. So on this card, it says perfection of honesty, and it's in reverse. So this is clearly stating that Michelle Obama is being dishonest about who she's perceived, the perception she's giving out to the world on who she claims to be. Okay? So now I'm going to go to my other deck for confirmation. Here's Michelle Obama. Oh, keep dropping my cards. One moment. Michelle Obama being honest about who she claims to be according to Joan Rivers. Is Joan Rivers' statements correct about Michelle Obama? Is Michelle Obama the opposite gender as Joan Rivers claims? Okay. So this is the card that came in, the High Priestess in reverse. Okay. It says emotional instability, clouded thinking and recklessness, overly emotional attitude and impulsive actions will have negative consequences. Conceited shall personality indicates sexual employment without commitment or feeling. Beware of deceitful, unfaithful woman who appeals to a man's animal instincts. She leads men to destruction. So that is what this card is saying, and it's basically confirming what we already are stating, okay? So it says, beware of a deceitful, unfaithful woman who appeals to a man's animal instincts. And she's perceiving that she's a woman, but is actually a male, according to the reading. And it's saying they appeal to a man's animal instincts. Not only did she appeal to her own male animal instincts because of these statements coming out, somebody had to lose their life, but she also appeals to Obama's male instincts, and we know, for those who know what Obama has done and the things he's still currently doing behind the scenes, because he also gave a fake perception that he was all for black people and all of these things, and to come to find out, he went against everything he ever said he was going to do for the people. Okay, so it's saying clouded thinking. So for people to not be able to look at what's in front of them, and not even with the truth there, there's people out there that still believe that, you know, Michelle Obama is who she portrays to be, and that's clouded thinking. Okay, and it says overly emotional attitude and impulsive actions will have negative consequences. So negative consequences will, not only did Joan Rivers receive negative consequences for telling the truth, but there's also negative consequences for causing harm to people, and that's nature's law.
Okay, now let's get a good look at you.
Hold it. Run that back. Pause it.
There, freeze that.
Full screen.
Hey, freeze that.
Tighten up on that way.
Move in. More.
Zoom in right here on this spot.
I enhance the detail and lock on and enlarge the Z-axis. Can you clear that up any?
I don't know. Let's enhance it.
Should be standing up!